Yeah, so we were called to the 4000 block of Hook Road outside of Ontario, Ohio, for a reported house that exploded. That was all we were given by our dispatch. We arrived on scene. We found a house that had exploded with a large debris field all the way around the house. Active fire that was in the basement with heavy fire showing. There was a victim that was outside of the house. She was transported by our EMS unit to a local hospital. I don't know the status on her, the extent of her injuries. We were also notified that there were 2 victims that were trapped inside the house in the basement area. So crews quickly put water on the fire and we got it knocked down, and were able to make access into the basement via some ladders from the trucks, and found one of the victim under a pile of rubble. He was awake and talking. He had some significant burns on his body, and he was transported via life flight helicopter to Ohio State Wexner Medical Center in Columbus. The other victim, we began searching after he was found, and found the other victim on an opposite wall, and she was covered with debris. We know it was a female. Don't know any identities or anything, but she had some injuries that were incompatible with life, so she was unfortunately a deceased victim, and she was removed as well. The fire is under investigation by the Ohio State Fire Marshal's office. They're currently on site doing their preliminary investigation. That's really all the information that we have at this point.
Did you have to put out a fire then?
Yes, there was active fire in the basement. Like I said, the crews deployed their hose lines and started attacking the fire, knocked it down enough, and then they learned that there was victims inside. So nobody was out to guide them and let them know that initially, but then they were alerted that there were some victims inside, so that's when we went into rescue mode and made access to the basement and found the victims. The one that was found first was yelling out, so it was a little easier to find him, and then the other one, it was just sorting through debris, trying to figure out where she was located.
Any damage to surrounding houses?
Not that I noticed. We haven't made it to the other houses to see about damage. There was a small pole barn type building on the property that had some damage from the explosion, but as far as other structures, other properties, it's unsure.
Are all the firefighters okay?
Yes, there was no injuries from the fire service personnel, just the injuries mentioned earlier with the civilians.
Chief, what time was that? Is that around 1:30?
Yeah, I think it was around 1:30 without checking for sure.
Was there any
pets injured?
I'm unsure. I don't know. I'm not
we
sure.
had one female outside and 2 victims inside.
Correct.
And one of the victims inside was transported by helicopter.
Correct.
And the other person is also is a gentleman, right?
Correct.
And he is, or lady.
No, I'm sorry. The homeowner was a female. She was
Homeowner
outside.
was a female.
Correct.
She was outside.
She was transported by EMS to Ohio Health Mansfield Hospital.
Thank you.
Her status is unknown, like I said, and the one victim that was inside was transported via helicopter to Columbus, Ohio State Wexner Medical Center.
And then one person succumbed to
Correct.
injuries. And
Yes.
Is he or she?
It was a she.
She.
Correct.
So 3 females?
Total 2 females and 1 male victim. Yes.
So a male was life-flighted?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
Can you tell me what agencies responded?
Off the top of my head, this is Springfield Township's jurisdiction. We had mutual aid from Shelby Fire Department. One of our crews arrived on scene and saw the extent of the explosion, and we knew we needed additional resources. We also needed additional people because it's hot out, and we just needed, we're a lot of manual labor down in the basement. We're just throwing out cinder blocks, dimensional lumber, debris, furniture, stuff like that, trying to get it out of the basement so we could make access to the victim. So we had Springfield, Shelby, Mansfield Fire Department came out, Madison Township Fire Department came out, Troy Township Fire Department came out, Jefferson Township, Belleville, Plymouth Fire Department, Gallion Fire Department, Crestline Fire Department, and Jefferson Township, Crawford County are the ones that I know off the top of my head. If there's any more that I missed,
Chief,
then
is that a one-story home?
I don't know. I'm unsure. Without looking at any pictures, I'm not sure.
Thank you.
Yep.
Do you have any suspected causes?
At this time, no. We're just waiting for the State Fire Marshal's office to do their thing so they can determine what the cause was, but we don't know at this time. It's still in an investigation mode.
Do you know what the response time was?
I do not.
Okay.
Sorry. Yep.
Oh, Chief, that's sad.
Yeah.
We don't know who they are in terms of if they're residents of the home.
Yeah, I don't know any identities or anything like that. Yep, I'm sure.
Would you summarize that one more time? One lady went to Ohio Health Mansfield.
Yeah, one victim was transported to Ohio Health Mansfield. One male victim was transported to Ohio State Wexner Medical Center
Helicopter.
via helicopter, and the other victim was a deceased victim. It was correct.
So one deceased on site?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank
Yep.
you, Chief.
Yep.
I'm sorry about that. Sad news.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
No
I
problem.
do appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank
no
you.
problem.